Hey, welcome back YouTube to more MSQ playthrough. We are wrapping up Post and Walker. Let's go ahead and hop into it. Wait, aren't you the Scions of the Seventh Dawn? Or were rather, I understand you've been disbanded. An audience with Lord Fortunat. You are in luck. The forum has just this moment adjourned and he is still inside with the Scholarch. Please wait here while I inform them of your presence. Apologies to have kept you. I trust you won't object if Scholarch Montaigne also attends. My incorrigible children, were you not assisting with Garlemont's reconstruction? Our hosts were most insistent that we take a rest, so here we are. But more importantly, Amask has news that he would share with you. So the threat has passed. These are glad tidings indeed. Harnessing light from the first, a technological triumph that could have ended in catastrophic failure. But let us not dwell on hypotheticals. Like the Aether from the Isle of Ham, you employed the light for peaceful, albeit unanticipated purposes. Knowledge exists to serve the greater good, as my father was fond of saying. I'm inclined to agree in this instance. It has been established that world-ending crises in the reflections are connected to calamities in the source. As such, the strides you made in understanding the nature of and effecting a change in a reflection may one day prove vital for mankind's preservation. The forum will be eager to review your accounts thoroughly, for every drop of water serves to swell the great river of knowledge. Might we prevail upon you to prepare a comprehensive report, Ishtola, on the subjects of the Void and Crust Rift travel both? It would be my pleasure. We will share these tidings with those who have aided you, Kakodonko not least of all. Now, if you'll excuse us, we must be on our way. I should be glad to speak with you both later. With that, our obligations here are concluded. Oh, Nidana, what news of Thavner? They've returned then? Wonderful. Rest assured all is well with us too. Is that so? We would be honored, of course. I shall relay this to the others. A great feast will be held in Radzatan to celebrate Ajdaya's homecoming. We have all been invited. I'm afraid my sister and I must decline. We must only just returned home. To leave again so soon would be inconsiderate to our parents. With regret, I too must excuse myself from attendance. A prior commitment requireth that I remain in Shanlian for a time. Let not our absence deter you, however. Pray enjoy yourselves to the fullest. I've no plans in particular, so you can count me in. I may as well visit the Radiant Host while I'm there. How about you? Far be it from me to turn down free food. That's the spirit? But what about the Memorial Crystal? It would be remiss of us not to deliver it promptly to our friends in the First. Also, if they are to transfer light and dark between worlds, they will need command over the Crystal Tower, in which case I shall give you my spirit vessel to take again. When you arrive in the Crystarium, the sentry at the tower should be able to round up everyone for you. Once you have seen to matters there, come and join us at Megaduta. Give everyone our regards, you hear?
Ah, yes. The king has already shared what they glimpsed in the source. The day is won, and the danger past. Hearing the tidings lifted a great weight from my shoulders. Never before had I taken on such a monumental request.
Small though it was, we are glad to have played a role in saving the Exarch's home. And yours. Furthermore, the endeavor served to reaffirm the bond between the peoples of Norvrant. Nurturing this bond, we will strive to be an example for the world Zero aspires to restore.
Is that a Memoria crystal? I can feel it. The tremendous darkness within. Using darkness from the void to restore balance to this world. If such a thing could be done! Well, well. Though night has returned to our world, darkness cannot arise of its own accord, much less in abundance. But if it could be brought here, in like manner to how we channeled light to the void, it may well be possible to restore the empty in its entirety.
I like how it's much bigger in Reen's hands. So tiny.
Do you still have that spirit vessel with you? If so, I beg you loan it to me for a time. I would use it to investigate a way to have the tower receive rather than send energy. Thank you. While I make no promises at this stage, I shall rigorously explore the possibility. I too need to explore new possibilities for my powers. My recent experience at Nabatha Reng has taught me that. To that end, I will set aside botany for a time, and focus instead on myself. Knowing Zero is out there, doing her utmost to restore her own world, it inspires me to redouble my efforts.
It was a mighty struggle, but I had faith that you would be victorious in the end. I doubt not that the people of Norvrant will cheer when they learn that the Warrior of Darkness managed to save his home. I know you are a busy man, so don't let us keep you. Rest assured that we will continue the work we've begun. Bye, guys. And those two dancers, man, they've been dancing forever. Ain't no breaks. He's so tired. Oh, it's the old man. Mazdala's legacy. She said, give him water. Give that fool water.
It cannot be. Oh, Vashan, my darling little brother. To think that I will never see you again.
The way you carry on, anyone would think he was actually your brother. Save your tears now. His Excellency still has one of his eyes, and he has made it clear he intends to continue using his vessel. You'll see Varshan again. Never fear.
Truly? But will it be the little one?
Personally, I prefer the adult vessel. It cuts a gallant figure and has superior functionality besides.
I don't care about such things. My little brother is little and adorable.
Stupid.
Sisters, give me strength.
'Tis a fine thing being so loved.
Everybody drunk off their ass. Oh yeah, let's give him water.
Had enough of the revelry, have you? So, what's next for our hero? No need to decide just yet. You'll recall our escapades in the Void began with a treasure map I paid entirely too much gil for. You can't force an adventure. It'll happen when it happens, and you'll know when the time is right. Till then, it's good to lend an ear to others and their tales. And speaking of others...
Discussing each other's plans, are we? Alas, I have nothing exciting to share. I foresee an extended confinement in my Sharlayan chambers, compiling my theories on cross-rift travel. My research may be classified, prohibited by the powers that be. But so long as a bond exists between people, ever shall our worlds be connected. As it stands, a means to travel to the First is within reach, and I would be satisfied even should my research not exist in an official capacity. And what of you, Estinian? Have you any plans?
That fool's already gone. That fool's already halfway to China.
He never was one to stay put for long, though I've no doubt he will make himself known when needed.
Just be roaring like that, dude. You need to scare the people of the town. It was a lively feast, was it not? And it impressed upon me once again how dear Vitra is to his people. Well, as much as I should like to linger, 'tis past time I looked my leave. If you would mean to depart as well, I suggest you call on Vitra before setting out. And before I forget, thank you. For everything we learned and for everything we accomplished, I couldn't be more grateful. Till next time, take care. MSQ, I hope you enjoyed the festivities. To be able to celebrate Eshtaya's return with everyone was moving beyond words. Lest you wonder, I've chosen to use this vessel for now, the better to escort my sister about Razatan. This leaves my true form without an eye, but I do not anticipate having need of it in the immediate future. Long have I dreamed of showing Ashtaya my beautiful city, a glittering jewel born of unity, and I shall relish every moment of it. Now then, I believe both Ishtola and Estinian have embarked on their respective journeys, but you have your self-business elsewhere. If not, you are welcome to remain here as long as you should like. Should aught of import arise, we will inform you, but until such a day arrives, I bid you take your ease. Meanwhile, in old Charlian.
Everything appears to be in order. Oh, finished at last. So time-consuming. How nice would it be to have a mammoth to handle such tasks? Now then, let's have a look at you. Quite old, this letter. We'll need to store it carefully. Addressed to grandfather, and come all the way from Tuliolal. From a Gulu... someone.
Tuliolal.
Oh, the ink's too faded. Hardly anything is legible. Come on, give me something. A commission to investigate the Golden City in Tural. How odd. No one ever mentioned such a commission, nor have I seen any records. Something else in here. What an unusual earring. How does it relate to the petition, I wonder? Oh, did you go there, grandfather? To the Golden City in Tural?
Back again already, after making a show of leaving. Well, this is it. Charlian, quite a far cry from Tuliolal, yes?
Oh?
Come, let's go and find your candidate. Our adventurer friend.
MSQ, one of my clerks was just here with a message for you. The students of Baldesian request your presence in Charlian at your earliest convenience. Indebted as I am to our friends, I had hoped that it might be to of service, but it is time you alone that they require. If you've no pressing business, I just be jumbling up words. Pray make your way to the Baldesian Annex at once. Ojika awaits your arrival. In the meantime, I shall continue showing Ashtaya the city, from notable landmarks to the people's lives. There is still much and more for her to see. Farewell for now, my friend. I look forward to the day we set forth on another adventure together. Let me really quickly look at what is the... Okay, so the last quest that we'll be doing in Post Endwalker is called The Coming Dawn. I just want to take note of that. We are on when one door closes, then we have The Game is Afoot, and then The Coming Dawn. And then we're good. Ojika. A warm and hearty welcome to you. I gather you received our message. Please wait here while I fetch Kral and Graha. Aw, I love when she has her hood down. Adorable. Thank you for coming on such short notice, and forgive us for sending you so soon after your trials in the void. Now then, we weren't actually the ones who require your presence, but Erinvel. He stopped by recently, you see, and asked us to reach out to you on his behalf. I imagine you're as surprised as we are, given that he was supposed to be away on a long expedition. Something must have necessitated a change in his plans, my god. All he would tell me is that there is someone whom he wishes MSQ to meet. He also mentioned that he would be tending to business at the studium. Shall we look for him there? Dun, 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 dun. Now then, where is Erinvel?
Erinvel!
Apologies for the wait. I hope I haven't called you away from anything important. I chanced upon some commissioned items at my destination, so I thought I might deliver them.
Where did you go, if I may ask?
The New World. Tural.
You went to Tural? Then the person who you wish to introduce...
Aye, she hails from there. I present to you...
But it seems you've lost her.
Did she wander off?
Sorry. It's just so different here. I can't help but want to explore.
Well, while you were exploring, your candidate came to us. This is him. The adventurer you crossed the seas to meet.
Ooh, you weren't exaggerating. It's plain he's no ordinary man. I'm Uklamat, claimant to the throne of Tulihuela.
Tulihuela.
It's Tural's governing nation. The capital bears the same name.
I'll get to the point. I want you to come with me to my homeland.
Given the magnitude of the request, perhaps you should explain why you're making it?
Of course. Soon, an event of great import will be held in Tural. The right of succession, taking the form of a contest. It will determine who next ascends the throne. As daughter to its present keeper, I will participate. And I have every intention of winning. I was searching for champions to join me when Erenville told me about you. A mighty warrior who knows no fear, who sweeps aside terrible fiends as if they were reeds, who flew to the edge of existence and saved our star.
She asked who Eorzea's greatest hero was, and so I told her. Much more elegantly, I might add.
Now you know why. You'll come to Toral, yes?
Wait, let's all just slow down. Wuklamat, was it? You claim to be of the royal family, but is it not the Mamulja who rule in Tural?
Tulihyolal is a nation of many peoples. Not only the Mamulja, as some across the seas are quick to assume. That said, its present ruler is a Mamulja, and one blessed with two heads besides. He's also my father. Not by blood, obviously, but he raised me as his own, and that's what matters.
So that is the way of it. My apologies if I was indelicate.
Hardly. I know little about your
Shit!
life and nothing about your parentage.
Fucking hell.
But in my eagerness, I've gotten ahead of myself. I can't expect you to agree on the spot when we've only just met. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. Just know, though, that if it's adventure you seek, you could do far worse than come with me. Now, this is only a rumor. But apparently, the contest will involve the fabled city of gold and the legendary beast, Valyarmanda. Tell
Valyarmanda.
me that doesn't pique your interest.
Golden City. I've heard about it before. From one Emmett Selk.
So the tales have reached even these shores. I can't help but feel proud.
I advise you not to put much store by these rumors. Golden cities are not but a dreamer's fancy.
Says the dreamer who was bent on finding one when he was a child. Just because you failed doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Tuliolal and the Golden City. Just like in the letter to Grandfather.
Regardless of what the contest may entail, it'll be no simple thing. If I'm to triumph, I'll need capable and dependable companions. So let's go on a hunt together. There's no better way to get acquainted.
Oops. A chance to see not only Tural, but the fabled Golden City besides. This is the stuff of grand adventures, my friend. Which is not to say you should hastily accept this invitation, mind. There's still a great deal we do not know. So let us begin to rectify that by first getting acquainted with our visitor in the manner she suggests. I'm not certain what might be a suitable location for her hunt, however. When I was at the guild earlier, I learned about the petition from researchers on the Isle of Ham. You went there not long ago and culled some unruly fauna, of course, but according to recent reports, other ordinarily docile fauna have grown savage. It's believed that they've been unsettled by some manner of predator, and so the researchers seek assistance with identifying and dispatching it. As part of your hunt, perhaps you might answer the petition. The isle isn't far, and we should also be helping those in need. That works for me. Just so you know, I've honed my skills against some of the fiercest beasts in Tural. Whatever this creature is, it had better be able to put up a proper fight, or it'll end up before we have the chance to get acquainted. Meanwhile, in Kryle's head. And before we can prove ourselves capable and dependable companions. My apologies, but I must see to some preparations. Pray go on ahead to the Isle. I will join you as soon as possible. If the rest of you are ready, let us head to the harbor. This being guild ship business, it should be simple enough to secure the vessel. To the harbor! Get to the harbor! Fucking giddy that we're like literally around the corner from Dawn Trail. It's palpable! It's even palpable! You may have to find some new clothes, I think. Starting Dawn Trail as Viper, we can't wear Lunar Envoy stuff. This is Endwalker business. I should learn this on guitar. This little melody. I should get a Chinese guitar. Some nylon strings. So we have to take a ship. Ugh, and I've barely set foot on dry land. Oh well, I suppose it's for a good cause. A hunt. Come on, let's get going.
From here, we must walk.
So much ice. It rivals even Yogg-Tural. Oh, a white bear! I wonder what it tastes like.
Remember, we're here to deal with creatures that have been deemed an unacceptable danger. Do not attack anything else unprovoked.
I know. So this is the Isle where ether literally bursts forth.
Aye, the Isle of Ham. The geysers lie deep inland, however.
You really are knowledgeable. Kona told me nothing about this place.
I doubt your brother managed to come out this way. He's like to have toured facilities like Labyrinthos, however.
The great big cavern under the city. It's amazing that they could make a sky down there complete with a sun.
This brother of yours, he has been to Sharlayan.
He has. Kono's my second older brother, and until recently he was a student in this city.
What? Is he a Hrothgar or
technological amusements?
no?
Made me want to come here too one day.
He's got to be a Mamulja. I didn't see
So I
any
did.
Mamulja.
I think I understood something of how he felt when I set foot in his beloved studium.
He went to the studio. Your brother must be quite a
Okay.
scholar.
If he's a Mamulja, he's the smartest Mamulja ever.
I wonder. Like you, he'd be royalty, yes? With such a personage coming to Sharlayan to receive an education would surely have caused a stir, yet I recall nothing of the sort.
He consulted with the head of the studium beforehand that his identity might remain secret. Being Mikote, he had no trouble blending in.
He's a
He's a doctor like
Mikote!
me, you see. One time, though, he almost let it slip to a professor. It was all he could do to parry the barrage of questions.
He's a Mikote.
Having no shortage of questions myself, I can imagine.
Ask whatever you like. I don't mind. But I maintain hunting together is the best way to get to know someone.
The researchers should be up ahead. Let's find them and learn what we can.
Duty commenced. Oh shit.
The researchers should be just ahead.
I remember doing this on my main.
There. The building to the northeast.
To the northeast we go.
So, ordinarily harmless creatures have grown savage.
Don't know what's got them riled up. I'll take down any that thinks to try me. Right, let's hunt our fill.
Aaronville's just standing there like, y'all got this, right?
Look! Someone's in trouble.
Not the sheep. Not the giant sheep and caribou. Not the caribou!
These animals are usually so docile.
Oh, thank goodness you've come. I take it you're the one who answered our petition. Wait, aren't you? You are! MS, the adventurer who saved our star. Would that our meeting was under better circumstances. I was conducting a routine inspection of the transporter here when I suddenly found myself surrounded. You'll find more of the same across the chasm. Once docile animals grown strangely aggressive. My colleagues there can tell you more. If you'll give me just a moment, I can finish checking our equipment.
You really are famous.
And for good reason, as you'll soon see for yourself.
Quite an interesting contraption you've got here.
Is that our petitioner? Let's go and have a chat.
The adventurer come to answer my petition, I presume. We're most fortunate to have one of your considerable skill here to aid us. A creature of unknown origins has been sighted on the island in recent days, and we believe its presence has affected the local fauna. The animals beyond this gate are the worst affected we've encountered thus far, though we do not dare go back. Your task is to quell any threats you find and search the traces of the beast responsible for all this. If you should find anything at all, we would be most grateful if you would share it with us.
I'll handle this. Is that all? Come on, let's pick up the creature's trail.
You find ravaged beast remains torn to shreds by sharp talons.
I've seen their like before. It's starting to feel like a proper hunt.
You find feathers are scattered about the ground. There are signs of a fierce struggle.
Feathers. But did they belong to the predator or the prey?
So, how do you prefer our prey? Roasted or raw?
You presume it's even safe to eat?
Cloying stench of fresh leavings assails your nostrils. Whatever beast left them is likely still close
Still
by.
fresh. Whatever this beast, it cannot be far.
Who knows? If they're spoiling for a fight, then hey, we got one.
Let's head back and report what we found.
Powerful wings and razor-sharp talons. Worthy prey. Ah! What is that thing?
Oh no. That's fucking terrible.
It speaks?
It's heading towards the fall.
I'll stay with the researchers. The creature, I leave to you.
Come, Woklamat.
Right.
Boss battle, let's go.
Just so we're clear, I wasn't startled by the beast earlier. It caught me by surprise, that's all.
Forgive me, but I failed to see a difference.
I'm getting hungry. Let's be done with this so we can eat.
It's fucking terrifying.
Think you're clever, huh? I'll rip off that beak and roast you on a spit! Talk all you like, bird. I'm going to have the last laugh. Oh, I'm going to enjoy sinking my teeth into you. Shut up already, you blasted bird!
Maybe it's been changed by the Aether.
Quickly, gather together. I've got you.
That was too close.
Steady now. Pay for that. Thank you. That was hardly a tickle. Try this. Nothing to it. We have you now, you loudmouth bastard!
Throw everything you have at it.
And I had barely limbered up.
It was a terrible foe, but no match for your axe.
Only to be expected. You were pretty impressive yourselves. I was right to invite you on a hunt.
Not the jaw drop.
What a curious bird that was. Though we have similar in Tural, they don't grow so big or use such dirty tricks.
Dirty tricks? Dirty tricks?
Aye, dirty and despicable. Otherwise, I could have easily...
Leave this to me! Have at you!
Kryl.
What the?
I am terribly, terribly sorry to
She's
have kept
battle
you
ready.
waiting.
She arrived as I was seeing the researchers to safety. It was all I could do to keep up with her after I explained what happened.
So this is what you meant by seeing to preparation?
After hearing of the contest, I thought how wonderful it would be to join you. In coming here, I wanted to demonstrate my skill at arms to Wuklamat. Alas, it seems I missed most of the action.
Oh, she's wearing the earring. The 3-leaf clover.
That was amazing! The piece didn't stand a chance!
I'm glad to have been of service.
May I ask what inspired this change?
You will recall the time you descended to the ethereal sea in search of Heidelin. Recognizing that my skills were inadequate, I chose to provide support from afar, rather than join you. It was the same when you set forth for Ultima Thule. How it pained me to stay behind again and again. That's what inspired this change. Ever since the final days were averted, I've used every spare moment to hone my craft. As you all have adapted your methods to suit the circumstances, I started by considering how I might best contribute. And after much deliberation, I arrived at my answer. With the esoteric art passed down by the legendary Archon realm, Pictomancy. As I recall, you have embraced versatility to effectively complement a certain someone's style. What I do is much the same. Like you, I don't want to be left behind.
Indeed. I must say, you appear to be especially keen on being involved in the ritual of succession. Is there any particular reason?
Yes, there is. This letter from Tuli Yolal. It was addressed to my grandfather Galuf and turned up among the students' archives. The ink was faded, so I couldn't fully make out the sender's name. Galul, someone.
Jaja. Gulul Jaja. That's my father, the Dawn servant. What does the letter say?
While much of it isn't legible, it appears to be a request to investigate the Golden City.
A request to investigate the Golden City? From the Dawn servant himself?
Well, well. Seems it may be more than a rumor after all.
Being a member of the royal family, it was my hope that you could confirm the authenticity of this letter.
I can say for a fact that my father didn't write this. Given how culturally diverse Tuliyollal is, it was decided some time ago that a common language was needed. But instead of elevating an existing tongue and its speakers above all others, we looked to those widely spoken overseas and created an altogether new one. The similarities to your common tongue also make it quite easy to communicate in these situations, no? This letter, however, is entirely in Eorzean. If Father had written this, he would have been in Turali. And what's more, it bears a wax seal. We don't bother with them.
So the letter is fraudulent, then?
Oh, I didn't mean to say that. My father's signature is genuine, as far as I can tell, so perhaps he simply dictated it.
I see. Oh, thank you for the confirmation. It seems my grandfather indeed had dealings with Tuli Yolal. I can't help but be curious as to what exactly he was doing there. In order to help us decide on a course of action, would you mind if I asked you some questions about your home?
By all means. After all, learning about one another was the purpose of this hunt. We can talk while feasting on this fellow. I, for one, am starving.
We're eating that.
With the wildlife pacified and the researchers safe, our task is complete. That just leaves the matter of the colibri meat. For better or for worse, there's really only one place we can take it here in Charlian. The Last Stand. Come, let us see what Dickon can cook up for us. This might be a much longer video than usual because I want to wrap up Post Endwalker all in one. So we'll just keep going. We're on the game as afoot right now, and we have one more quest after this called The Coming Dawn. It's got parts 3 and part 4, so I'm not how long that's going to be. Well now, that's a fine famished face if I've ever seen one. What can I get you, MSQ? Oh, bird meat from the hunt, you say? Leave it to me, I have just the recipe. It's a new dish I recently learned from some sailors, and for you lot, it's on the house. Have as much as you like, you hear?
Come, come. Let's enjoy the bounty of our first outing together. I'd heard that Charlayan cuisine was terrible, but this is fantastic.
What is this? Ooh, it smells spicy.
Oh, come now. Since when did you become so soft? It's not like we don't have spicy food in Tural, too.
According to Dickon, intensely hot dishes have become popular in Razadhan after a traveler ordered a curry with several times the usual amount of spice.
Zero,
So
zero,
he started
zero.
offering the same in order to please the growing Harnish population here in Charlian.
It's nothing I can't handle.
Your boorish manners reflect poorly on the both of us. I wish you would consider your station.
I swear, sometimes it feels like you open your mouth only to criticize.
Would I be correct in assuming you've known each other for a long time?
Aye, thick as thieves since we were little.
I beg to differ. She is a long-standing acquaintance. Nothing more.
I see.
All this time you were from Tural. Oh, would that I had known sooner. There's so much I'd like to ask.
You and everyone else. I've kept it quiet so as to avoid the endless interrogations.
Well, if he's going to be a miser, I'll be happy to tell you about our homeland instead. Since ancient times, many peoples have called Tural home, and they've been fighting each other for nearly as long. The fighting finally stopped some 80 years ago, when the reigning Dawn Servant unified the disparate communities and founded a new nation.
And that's how Tuliolal came to be.
Since then, we've enjoyed an era of uninterrupted peace. But my father is getting old, and he wishes to relinquish the throne to a worthy successor. One who can preserve his legacy. Including myself, there are 4 claimants to the throne. But while we all have the right to participate, one among us cannot be allowed to rule.
A man who is too ambitious by half. Word of the Garlean Empire's collapse has reached Tural. While most are simply relieved, he sees weakness to exploit and would lead our armies across the seas on a campaign of conquest.
After everything my father has done to give us peace, he would drag us back into war. I can't allow it. No matter what, I must win this contest.
I understand your reasons. But this being an event that will dictate the course of your nation's future, is it appropriate for outsiders like us to be involved?
Oh, it's more than appropriate. The Dawn Servant himself expressly encourages it. The ruler of Tural must navigate the intricacies of myriad cultures, and there's no better way to prove oneself qualified to do so than to work with foreign allies. That's why I sought you out. Through our hunt, I've confirmed that you're a warrior of considerable skill, but more importantly, one of good character as well. And so I ask you, will you lend me your strength and help me win the throne of Tulihualal? You don't need to decide right this moment. But I will need you if I'm to triumph over the competition. I'll stay here as long as I can while waiting for your answer.
In that case, allow us to prepare a room for you at the Baldessian Annex.
That's very kind of you. Oh, and one more thing. Once we finish eating, would you mind if I took the rest of the meat?
Whether Wuklamat has the makings of a ruler, I couldn't say, but I do know that she deeply cares for her nation and her people. Whether you choose to help her, though, is for you and you alone to decide. Think on it well. Now then, it's past time I reported our mission success to the guild ship. I would have done so sooner, except Her Highness needed to have her royal meal. I shall come by the annex later. Till then. Well, I dare say we now have a fair grasp of what Wuklamat's situation. Still, you've been afforded time to consider her invitation. Why not use it to learn more about Tural? Numenor is bound to have some information on the continent. Certainly wouldn't hurt to be well informed. Quite right. Not only would it help to make you an informed decision, but if you choose to go, you would be better prepared for what it awaits. Come, my friend, let us be off to the archives. Pudding way, still at it. Trying to research that pudding. The origins of blue magic can be traced back to the esoteric practices of the Wallaki, a tribe in the distant continent of Tural. The tribe holds nature in the highest, and in seeking to cultivate a spiritual connection with it, they have learned to harness the power of the wildlife around them. In exchange for teaching them the common tongue, I was permitted to live among them and train in their ways. Those days were some of the most grueling I remember, but they were tremendously rewarding. For instance, I had the privilege of visiting Lapis Canyon, the tribe's sacred grounds. It is so named for the cerulean deposit that wells up to the surface, turning the entire canyon a brilliant blue. Under a shaman's watchful eye, I finally managed to master the Wallaki's art and make the animal's powers my own. As no name existed for it in the common tongue, I took the liberty of naming it blue magic. The reason I chose this color, as you have doubtless gleaned, is for the significance it holds with the Wallaki. I cannot think of a name more fitting to honor the people from whom this noble magic was born. Blue Mage. Nice. So blue magic started in Tural. The more you know. It is impossible to adequately discuss Eorzean cuisine without speaking of this land from which many of our modern staples hail, the far western continent of Tural. Ogre pumpkins, ruby tomatoes, even the ubiquitous popoto, these crops and more that regularly grace Eorzean dining tables trace their origins to the New World, as the place is known to most. The tale of this culinary immigration begins in the year 1498 of the 6th Astral Era, when a Laminsan sailor named Ketram successfully traversed the Indigo Deep to arrive at a theretofore unknown continent. Ketram spent several moons exploring inland, in the course of which he encountered the denizens of the sprawling nation of Mamul Jah. He was even granted an audience with their supreme leader, whose confidence he won along with permission to roam freely. Ketram would return to Tural several times, but during his first expedition, he charted the land and gathered myriad root vegetables and seeds to bring back to Limsa Laminsa. The most notable of these was the popoto, whose ease of cultivation and nutritional value saw it quickly spread to all corners of Eorzea. Produce was far from the only bounty of Ketram's expeditions to Tural. Many tantalizing recipes such as the bean-filled burrito and gripping legends such as that of the Golden City reached our shores by way of his ship. To those outside of Ketram's circle, Tural largely remains shrouded in mystery, yet its influence on our cuisine cannot be overstated. Many scholars, myself included, would relish the chance to immerse themselves in the culinary culture of that faraway continent. And I got through that. Boy, did I get through that. That felt good. No stumbles, no nothing. Who's the scholar now? Every land has given rise to unique wildlife, and the continent of Tural is no exception. Yet while some of her creatures have become a familiar sight in Eorzea, many and more exist that rarely seen this side of the Indigo Deep. This tome introduces a select variety of species as described in the testimonies of sailors and adventurers. Alpaca. Accustomed to Tural's craggy mountain ranges, this four-legged beastskin has been domesticated for seemingly hundreds, if not thousands of years. Their soft white fleece is highly prized by weavers, while their strong legs and sure-footedness make them capable beasts of burden. Wivre. This ferocious scalekin is native to the dense jungles of Tural. The Mamul Jah have succeeded in taming them and utilizing their prodigious strength for manual labor. Given their immense size and power, it should come as no surprise that the Wivre is also employed as a siege beast. Enormously enemy fortifications cannot long withstand this horned brute's rampage. Velagarmanda. Turari folklore holds that this bird-like creature is the mightiest of beasts and the very embodiment of nature's power. Whether it exists beyond myth, however, is uncertain. Let us begin by comparing the geographical characteristics of the three great continents and Tural. The former stretches from east to west and lies entirely within the northern hemisphere. In contrast, the latter extends to the far reaches of both northern and southern hemispheres, and a difference immediately presents itself in the form of climate variance. Shifts in climate tend to be gentler when moving east and west, but harsher when moving north and south. Owing to this fact, longitudinal migration is far more common in history, whether it be by men, animals, or plants. A case in point is the Alligans, who rose to power in Alderaan before advancing east into Isobard. Their movement should be mirrored thousands of years later by the Garleans. Meanwhile, although the disparate tribes of Tural waged war with one another for generations, stymied by the climate, none could make any great headway north or south. Tribes hailing from frozen lands withered beneath the desert sun, while those that thrived in open plains could not pierce dense jungle. Such was the way of it, until the leader of the Momulja succeeded in bringing the continent under one banner. Given the land's divided history and the reason thereof, one cannot help but be in awe of this feat. Truly, it is a testament to the Autarch's greatness. Having perused a wide selection of books relating to Tural, you are somewhat better informed about your potential destination. Graha, by the way, his name is now Grahatia. For this duration of the Dawn Trail expansion, he shall be known as Grahatia. We'll be eager to know what you have discovered. Should you wish to read these books again, speak with the reference page. Grahatia. Eating tacos and burritos, Grahatia. Scoured the library to your satisfaction, have you? Excellent. While there are a few books wholly dedicated to the subject of Tural, I dare say you found tidbits of useful information scattered here and there. But come, let's continue this outside. The Mehmets do not take kindly to chatter. Now then, I'm quite keen to hear your honest impressions. I couldn't help but notice that we read the very same book on cuisine. I was pleasantly surprised to find references to Tural within. Among them, did anything in particular pique your interest? I was rather taken with the tale of Kenturam. Ah yes, the renowned Lominson explorer who traversed the Indigo Deep and discovered the unknown West. And his accomplishments didn't end there. He traveled Tural extensively and even forged a friendship with the Dawn Servant. If we were able to meet Kenturam, what things we could learn. Alas, all of this happened nigh 80 years ago, but he may no longer be alive to tell his tales. But moving on, did you perchance learn aught about the fauna of Tural? Given your adventuring background, I expect the topic would interest you. I learned about the alpacas. Ah yes, the alpaca. In addition to serving as beasts of burdens, they provide clothing for people by way of their lush fleece. They are especially prized by mountain tribes who hold certain rare specimens sacred. I thought I heard familiar voices. Oh, it's Alice. Fancy running into the two of you here. Well, well, have some research of your own, do you? Aye, we hope to arm ourselves with knowledge that may benefit the Garlean people. Having forged a new trade agreement with Radz-at-Han, they will next look to foster relations with other nations. This includes former imperial provinces. In view of this, we hope to find hints in history of how neighbors of differing races and ideologies might engage with one another. And what of the two of you? What endeavor brings you here this day? A nation composed of the disparate peoples of Tural. I dare say this is precisely the kind of example we seek. We'll do well to read up on Tulial ourselves. The contest. Is Ames the only one allowed to help Wuklamad? There was no mention of such restrictions as I recall. On the contrary, Wuklamad gave us the impression that she could have several champions. I think I know how to make the most of our respite. Follow me, Alphanode. We have planning to do. Alice, wait. It would seem our plans have changed, if you'll excuse me. They never could rest on their laurels. Come, let us return to the annex.
it's just... Despite all that we've learned, I can't help but feel we've yet to hear the whole story. What about you, my friend? Are you inclined to accept or refuse Worklamat's request?
I never say no to a new adventure.
Ha! I thought you might say that. With an intrepid attitude such as yours, I believe all shall be well. Be it the contest or something else, there will be many trials for you to overcome at your destination. But in the course of seeing new lands and meeting new people, you'll surely find a way forward. That's what adventurers do, is it not? Such a journey would be the envy of many a scholar. Distant as it is, Tural remains largely unknown to us, with only meager records to be found in Numenor. The experiences to be had, all the things you might hear, feel, and think. It's enough to stir me to the core.
Nice callback.
Life is a series of journeys, my friend, and there's no telling what awaits us on the long road. But what's important is to be true to yourself as you walk it. Only then can we hope to be content when we arrive at the end of one and step forward into another. Ah, but there's an idea. I have a matter to attend to at the Agora. Please, go on inside. I will join you shortly.
Yeah, I knew you were there. I seen you. Welcome back. If you're looking for Woklamont, she is currently with the others in her chambers. If you like, I can go and fetch them for you. Understood. Please wait in the main hall. Bum 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 bum. Gonna need a bigger map.
You have the look of someone who's made up their mind. Go on then. Let's hear it.
I wish to boldly go where I've never gone before. Shout out to Star Trek.
Then you need me as much as I need you. Together we'll blaze new trails in Tural.
You're not planning to leave without us, are you? Alpha no, Alize! What are you two doing here?
We happened to cross paths at Numenon earlier, you see, and I told them about Wooklamat. And when we fortuitously met again at the Agora just now, they expressed an interest in meeting our visitor.
Ah, you must be the twins who are sneaking after Erenville as toads.
100 things about us you could have told her, and you chose that.
First impressions last.
'Tis an honor and a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Your Highness. Alphino Leveilleur at your service, and this is my sister Alize.
Oh no, let's not do that. I really can't stand titles. So, you want to participate in the contest too, is that right?
Indeed we do. We've been assisting with the rebuilding effort in Garlemald. Yet while progress is being made, the question remains of how the nation might reconcile with its neighbors. We believe there is much we might learn from Tuliolal, a nation founded on unity. And in return for this honor, we would spare no effort in supporting your claim.
The more the merrier, I say. And I'd be keen to learn about Eorzea and Garlemald from you as well.
Having recruited so many committed and capable allies, I presume you have no need for my continued assistance?
Nonsense! Like I told you before, you're indispensable. They're strong, aye, but strangers to our land. They need someone to guide them, to point out the dangers, and spare them grisly deaths. I can't think of anyone better suited to that task than you. What's more, despite your assertions, I know you haven't given up on the City of Gold.
As I recall, Kryl, you were the first to state your desire to visit Tural.
Perhaps I was. Still, I can't help but worry about being away just when our order is beginning to find its feet again.
You have nothing to worry about. I haven't forgotten how you held the fort while I set off to explore Alzadal's legacy. It's only fair that I return the favor. Pray, leave the students to Ojika and me.
But, Raha...
You want to retrace your grandfather's steps, don't you? This is a rare opportunity, and I insist that you seize it.
Thank you, Raha. Thank you.
Raha isa raha.
Well, looks like it's settled. I'm counting on you all to help me win the throne.
I suppose now is a good time to show you what I spent a small fortune on at the Agora. There.
New map, baby!
This, my friends, is the latest map of the world, created to celebrate our friendship with the Loperids. Cast your eyes west of Sharlayan, for there it lies. The site of your next great adventure, Tural.
That's sick. We did it? We did it? I think we did it. Pretty sure we did it. I think we did it. Oh. We are officially done with Post Endwalker. We are steps away from Dawn Trail, just around the corner. It's been a hell of a journey. Seriously, thank you to, if you've been watching the entire way, I can't thank you enough. You made this whole thing worthwhile, honestly. Just as much as like I did this for me, I noticed that there are people like watching along, and like I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. It just makes it that much more like rewarding and like worth it. I hope somebody finds enjoyment that I've at least recorded my entire journey, that I've recorded all of MSQ. We'll continue to do so. Incredible story. It just feels super rewarding. And I definitely feel like I've earned this vacation, this vacation that is Dawn Trail. Oh, Tataru. Vinat. Oh, Xenos. Maybe he's gonna come back. I don't know. We never really officially saw him die. I know that he released his avatar, but come on. He died off screen. He could come back. Pure will of might. Pure will of might. If anybody could do it, Xenos can do it. Alright, I've already said all I can. Thank you again for watching. Let's go ahead and finish this off, this dialogue. Lest you wonder about your passage to Tural, Erenvale will arrange a ship through his guild. You need only worry about your own preparations. Speaking of which, please take this with you. A rugged and ready knapsack. May it serve you well on your coming adventure. Now, I'm not sure when departure will be, but rest assured, I'll let you know when I hear something. Till then, please take your ease. Give us another cutscene? I thought I was okay. Meanwhile, in Limsa Lominsa, okay, we're not quite done yet, guys. We're not quite done yet. Almost.
When does the next ship set sail?
May I ask your destination?
The north and east, I've already seen. I suppose I'll head west this time.
West, you say?
Meanwhile, in old Charlian,
I see you've made up your mind. I had a feeling you'd be keen.
But to think that our comrades too are thither bound. Fate doth work in mysterious ways.
Indeed. It will be a grueling task, having to contend with them.
If the prospect doth trouble thee, 'tis not too late to decline the petition. Though thine expression would suggest thou art far from perturbed.
Oh, how could I possibly be, knowing what's to come?
Then let us delay no further and secure passage on a vessel.
Aye. This will be a mission to remember.
don't you look at the camera like that.
Come, my friend. We make for Taral.
Tell me, have you been to the ruins beneath the waters of the Bounty? Or the treasure islands beyond the frozen waters of Blind Frost in Offerd's north? The fabled golden cities of the New World?
Weigh anchor now, the tide is high, and dawn of a new adventure nigh. Row forth to break horizon's bond and tread the gilded path beyond. I'm fucking giddy, dude. I can't. Thank you, seriously. Thank you so much. If you've watched the journey thus far, it's been a huge undertaking to go through the entirety of the MSQ again in preparation of Dawn Trail. As I'm speaking now, it is the 4th of July. Game's been out for a couple days. We've had early access for even a little bit longer than that, and I'm super stoked and I'm super excited to now have the entirety of the story in my back pocket, in the back of my mind, and we're going into Dawn Trail fresh. We've earned this vacation, we deserve this vacation, and we're going to explore together. So I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.